again.
And off we go from Lubbock, where Texas Tech has not lost this year, 16-0, 19 consecutive wins overall. Last loss February 9th, 2021 against West Virginia when there were 4 opens with a turnover. The Sooners have lost 3 in a row since that victory over Tech. They've dropped 10 of 12 overall right now among Joe Lunardi's first 4 out of the NCAA tournament. You see the starting 5 for Texas Tech. TJ Shannon getting the start again in the win over Texas on Saturday. Didn't hit a shot from the field. Bryson Williams misses the 3. Davion Warren trying to track it down, but OU controls. So for Shannon, he went about a month without a start. Been hampered by back injuries all year. He's got to start playing well if Texas Tech is going to hit its ceiling.
Well, his talent level will take an already excellent basketball team to a whole nother level. And obviously they're being patient with him, but Mark Adams hoping he continues to get comfortable and that he can add that piece to this great team.
Offensive foul on 10. They're going to use one tagline for this season with Moser at OU. It's creating our culture, trying to instill everything that's important to him.
Porter Moser is an excellent coach. I really think he teaches the game well at both ends. And he's not a one-hit wonder. He's a guy that took 2 Loyola Chicago teams deep into the NCAA tournament.
Jacob Groves misses the 3. Jacob Groves taking the place of Elijah Harkless, out for the season with a knee injury. This is the 2nd game for OU without Harkless. Banner inside around Jacob Groves for 2 to break the seal.
And I would look for Tech to attack Jacob Groves defensively, whether it be out on the perimeter or right there in the post. He's a smart young man, but not physically where he needs to be in the Big 12 yet, and he's having to log heavy minutes because of Harkless being out, so look for that.
Moser says our depth wasn't really there even with Harkless. Now it's even tougher. Jordan Goldwire, the Duke transfer, knocks it down for the Sooners' first points.
And Goldwire really has raised the level of his game. He's needed to, he's had to. He came to Oklahoma from Duke, spending 4 years there, so that he could be more of an offensive weapon. But with Harkless out, he's done a really nice job of trying to pick up the slack there offensively.
Banner the sidestep, but Jalen Hill stuck with him. 5 to shoot. Adonis Arms. Williams connects at the end of the shot clock. Could very well be the Big 12 newcomer of the year, and he can make a case for even conference player of the year.
Well, he's legitimate, Ted, at all 3 levels. Shooting it obviously mid-range and then getting to the rim, but with his size and physical nature, he can also post.
Williams comes up with the steal. 3 turnovers by Oklahoma in the first 3+ minutes. Shannon slashes to the basket for the deuce. That's the TJ Shannon that was helping Texas Tech in non-conference play.
And Oklahoma has to be careful, especially with the energy in this building, of taking care of it early and not allowing Tech to get out and run.
Tanner Groves can stretch the floor. He hits the 3 for OU, the transfer from Eastern Washington.
Good sign right there. Only had 2 points, even though Oklahoma won in Norman. But concerning the last 2 games, Ted, he's only taken 6 shots, and he can't create his own. His teammates have got to find him in those type of situations.
Arms feeds Shannon in the corner. Arms sticking with Gibson. Crowd thought Tanner Groves walked. He feeds Gibson for the layup.
Well, that's a great cut right there. Gibson, obviously, Tech cognizant of him, wants to run him off the line. And then you get caught ball watching. That's a terrific play away from the ball from Gibson.
Williams drives past Tanner Groves, and the finger roll. What do you say about being so versatile and he can score at all 3 levels?
And he has such strength. And, you know, as we talked to Coach Adams, and I spent time talking to assistant coach Corey Williams today, Corey said he treats the game of basketball like he's already a pro. He's a tremendous leader, and he has one speed at all times, whether it's games or practices.
Jacob Groves was trapped, leads to the turnover. Davion Warren with the Euro step against Jordan.
And if Tech makes that adjustment.
Davion Warren at the line, out of the timeout after the foul on Goldwire. Now, Porter Moser said at shoot-around, it's Texas Tech offensively. They outscored Tech 45-25 in the second half, shot 70%. Imagine that against the team that ranks second.
Well, every coach, Ted, wants to move the basketball. There's Kevin McCullough.
Returning after missing the last 2 games with a sprained left ankle. He has sprained both ankles this season. 10 days ago, he stepped on the foot of TCU coach Jamie Dixon, injuring that left foot. This is his first action since. Under 10 to shoot for Oklahoma. Goldwire searching for an opening. Bryson Williams defending on the switch. Goldwire had to toss it up. And it's a shot.
Moving the basketball, that's in their DNA. I mean, they don't let it stick, it moves. And so when you force that help and it starts moving defensively, you have to really make all the effort in the world to be there on the catch. And all 5 defenders were right there. That's textbook Tech defense.
Marcus Santos Silva in his second year at Tech, transferring from VCU. Hook shot way off the mark.
Here early on, the emotions of the crowd, as good as Tech has been all season long. Elijah Harkless out for Oklahoma. You're playing a lot of young guys. They just need to weather the storm through these first 2 media timeouts. And I think they'll gain a lot of confidence if they're able to do that.
After just sweeping Chris Beard, Texas Tech's newest arch rival, and Texas. He's trying to push his team to greater heights. Gibson around and out for 3. Adam says we can't be peaking right now. We have a higher ceiling that we can reach.
Yeah, he doesn't believe that they are. There's some things that individually some of these guys can do to continue to get better.
Williams missed the 3 this time. Santos Silva tried the tip. Oklahoma corrals it. Shagwell wants it down low.
Understand who they are. Nadolny is that, and he was great offensively against Texas, as you mentioned, but the importance he brings is the defensive side of it, the energy, the competitive spirit, always gives great minutes.
7 to shoot. Hill trapped. Hill stumbles.
When that ball goes down, particularly to Oklahoma's bigs, maybe a Tanner Groves or Shagwell, they're going to trap it right there and force him to make a play.
They're almost inviting you to that spot on the floor, aren't they, Texas Tech?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And so if you already have it that flat with nowhere to go, Hill's got to get it out. And easier said than done, but you got to try to swing it the other direction.
Into the hands of Shannon. 8 on the timer. O'Banner cut off at the baseline. Through the hands of Shannon. McCullough got to put it up.
One of the things Porter Moser also mentioned to you and I was the importance of defensive board play. And so far, done a decent job of limiting Tech's second chance opportunities.
C.J. Nolan, the freshman, offline. Tech is always hunting for those charges defensively, right?
Yeah, and I would not say they're a team that tries to get out of taking charges either overall. Kevin O'Banner. And how good an addition has he been.
Davion Warren underneath. Warren with his first basket. He's one of the top scorers in the country a year ago. Now a role player for the Red Raiders.
Yeah, another one of those pieces that, I mean, literally can go get 12 to 15 at any night. The last couple of games he's struggled, but you know it's in there. And the history and resume is there.
Nice feed. Shagwell to Jacob Groves for the slam. This time, Groves was able to navigate that baseline.
Yeah, Oklahoma's bigs, Shagwell and both Groves brothers, excellent passers. They use their size, obviously, to see over the defenses, and nice little 2-man play right there.
Had to laugh at what Porter Moser said earlier today. Thinks that Jacob Groves is still growing. He's the baby face. Adonis Arms at the blow by in the layup. Jacob Groves has the baby face. His brother Tanner, of course, the mountain man with the beard. Moser said Tanner looks like he's 40 years old. He said that's not very nice to Tanner. Shagwell from deep. Got it. It's a three. His first points.
Any of those type of shots from guys that typically don't score at a high clip is a huge bonus if you're Oklahoma. They've got to continue within their personnel to kind of piece those things together throughout the game.
Shannon, nice bounce pass to Marcus Santos. Silva for the basket. Arms the deflect. Brownfield. His mother, Marilyn, now 91 years old and in attendance tonight. Adam says, my mom is my biggest cheerleader. When I was a kid, no matter how I really played, she said I played well. She's the biggest sports fanatic in the family, and she reads everything.
Well, and he talked to us how fortunate he is to have a mom like that. She's doing great, looks great, sports person, knows the game, and you know, when you asked him about it, you could just tell how pleased, how proud he was of her. Gets on him too, if I understand correctly.
Yes.
Still.
Arms misses the three, but 91 years old, and Adam says she is as sharp as ever. Oklahoma has turned it over 7 times here just past the midway mark of the first half. But down by 4, make it 8 turnovers by OU. O'Banner pops, it's short. Tanner Groves left it short from the baseline. Warren was trying to find Bryson Williams, and it's intercepted by Ethan Shagwell.
Now, Oklahoma has to slow down a little bit. You saw in that last possession even. That's a good look for Tanner Groves. You'll take a short corner jumper from him anytime, but notice how rushed he got right there. They're going to have to be careful of skip passes, meaning going through a teammate and skipping 2 passes away. Tech basically baits you into that. It's there sometimes, but you have to read the defenders, not your teammates, when you have the basketball. Oklahoma obviously can't continue to survive turning the basketball over at this rate.
Oklahoma hasn't scored in more than 2 minutes. Warren thought about the three. The step back against Jacob Groves. Way off. Arm scoops it. In Arizona. He was only 5'10" at the time. Now he's 6'5". Couple of years there. Couple of years in Division II in Nampa, Idaho at Northwest Nazarene. Couple of years at Winthrop, was in the NCAA tournament last year, and now at Texas Tech as a 6th-year senior. And Arms comes down with the rebound here with Texas Tech up by 6 at home.
Well, his makeup, obviously, his demeanor, I'm sure has always been there. But also his journey, I mean, he's not been given anything. And those are the type of guys that, you know, you love to see have success. And he's been a terrific piece here in this Red Raider team.
And only hit the underside of the backboard. Jalen Hill in transition off the spin, and it curls home. You think that Jalen Hill is one of the most underrated players in the league?
I really like the way that he plays, and I liked him as a freshman because he makes all the right choices. He's not flashy. He's kind of been thrust this year to become more of a scoring threat than I think he would like to be. You know, he'd like to blend in. Porter Moser doesn't want that, but you saw a little bit of his talent on keeping you out of the paint, and the other end, they attack the paint.
Red Raiders just +2 on the glass so far. Kickball.
Hill, he's one of a couple of guys in the league that can literally match up with Williams on any area of the floor.
Bryson Williams over Jalen Hill this time, and he cans it. That's a 2 for Bryson Williams. He's got 7.
It's almost like Bryson heard me and said, oh yeah? But well defended right there. Those are the type of plays he just makes. And that's why, especially late in games, you see Tech more and more going to Bryson Williams.
Williams was held to 5 points in the loss to Oklahoma a couple of weeks ago. His lowest total in Big 12 play. He's been in double figures in every other conference game this season. Goldwire off the mark.
You know, it's interesting, when you cover the league like we do, you start looking at matchups. Sometimes different matchups are tougher than others. You know, for example, I think Oklahoma State matches up well with Baylor. That's why they always give them fits with their link. You would think the link would bother Gibson, and you're seeing it more in this game than you did the first game. And that's just because the urgency is back defensively.
TJ Shannon drills the three. Just the second made three for Texas Tech tonight.
Those are bonuses. This team not built and predicated on making three-point shots, obviously. So when those goes down, that's a good thing.
Gibson too strong for Oklahoma. Tech was held at 2 of 17 from deep in the loss to OU earlier this month. They're 2 of 9 tonight. Oklahoma with the rip. Jordan Goldwire hanging against Shannon, couldn't finish. McCullough leans into it. Marvin Johnson in the game, the fifth-year senior transfer from Eastern Illinois. Number 5 in the Crimson. Tanner Groves floats it in.
Boy, nice job of Gibson dragging that right there, keeping his dribble alive. And those bigs for Oklahoma are pretty adept. Ted, when you do drive, finding those windows and those gaps. You saw Tanner Groves do it right there.
Shannon lost it on the drive. Goldwire comes up with it. Tanner Groves steps into the three. Left it short, but a long rebound to Goldwire. Gibson from the other wing. Book it on triple.com/buy tickets. Can't wait to see you in Kansas City. 4-point lead for number 9 Texas Tech, winners of 3 in a row in all 16 of their home games this season. O'Banner inside, puts it in.
Well, Porter Moser right there showed a little soft 2-2-1 pressure out of the timeout. I don't think he was happy with Chagwa on that back end, protecting the rim.
Chagwa at the offensive end, lost the handle, retrieved it. Six to shoot for the Sooners. Gibson, the drive against arms, barreling through the defender. It's a
attacker off the bounce. You need a little bit of that from Goldwire, Gibson, and even a guy like Jalen Hill here tonight.
Chagwa's in trouble, finds Hill underneath, 4-2. Hill coming off a 15-point outing against Iowa State. It was a blowout loss, but you're right. Oklahoma needs more of that from Hill moving forward.
Well, and Chagwa, a very good passer. He averaged 2.5 assists a game last year for Tim Jankovic at SMU as a big. That tells you that he's looking to facilitate, sees the floor well.
6 on the timer, McCullough. Nadolny wanted it down low. He's got it now over Gibson. He draws the foul.
But I tell you what, he knows this because we talked about this today. He knows they have to put wins on the board. You can't just rely on, hey, we play in this tough league. It's not fair. We've got all these tough. 2 of their final 3 games are at home. Oklahoma State on Saturday, at West Virginia. Get used to not having him. So you got the big boys, the top 4 teams, out of the way after tonight. So Oklahoma definitely has life, but it's a short rope, if you will.
We asked Moser, do you pay attention to the bracketologists? He said, we're not naive. We all see it. Everyone who crunches the numbers. Jacob Groves with the air ball from 3. We talk about it, and Moser says, hey, we have quad 1 opportunities down the stretch, and it starts tonight against a top 10 team in the nation. Gibson comes up with the steal for OU.
Well, Tech has to be aware. They will play one-on-one in the post, but dig with their guards, especially with Tech, who's got a great 3-point shooting team.
Goldwire, the penetration. Gibson missed the 3.
But I think if you're Porter Moser, Ted, you will live with those last two looks. Wide open, Jacob Groves in the corner, and Gibson with any space at all.
Gibson is 1 of 4 from deep after going 8 of 11 and dropping 30 points on Texas Tech the first time around. Bryson Williams for 3. It's short. Goldwire, the lead pass. Gibson, the floater. Off the rim. Warren corrals it for Texas Tech. Warren, the pull-up. And the shooter's touch for Davion Warren. 5 points for the Hampton transfer.
Well, obviously, he can score. 21 points a game at Hampton last year. Good decision right there. How he slowed up and uses momentum to kind of hit that mid-range jumper.
Mark Adams pulled Warren after a few misses against Texas, but Adams encouraged him the last few days at practice, said, hey, if you're open, shoot it. Warren, the block.
How Tech comes at you, you are never comfortable. You know that they're coming. Even if you have a little space, that closeout is coming fast.
That can kind of get in your head, right?
Can.
KJ Allen is in for Texas Tech. His first action since 10 days ago against TCU. Says this time of year, it might be tough to find an edge in games before March. Said that was very easy tonight. The loss in Norman a couple of weeks ago really hurt. Oklahoma trying to end this drought. Goldwire can't do it. Loose ball controlled by Allen, the sophomore from Los Angeles. And Mark Adams' first signee after taking the job. Shannon off balance. Allen the follow, it's short. Final 30 seconds of the half. About an 8-second difference between the clocks. Allen defending Goldwire on the switch. Johnson the skip. Jacob Groves. Texas Tech has it, final 10 seconds. Shannon pulling up over Tanner Groves. It's short. Jalen Hill, the heave, 3/4 court.
And one of the most in terms of numbers in the country. That's by design. Their closeouts are still pretty good. That's what you're going to get. Oklahoma, when they're fortunate to get inside that paint, Ted, they've got to convert every once in a while.
That's not even close. Tech allows the most three-point attempts in the Big 12, more than 650. 10 to shoot for Oklahoma to start the half. Tanner Groves working against O'Banner. Too much on it.
Decent look. I mean, again, you got to convert those right there. Oklahoma going to do a good job of attempting to move the basketball, about as good as anybody in the league against Tech.
Bryson Williams on the block against Tanner Groves. The hook, good! Bryson Williams eclipsed 2,000 career points in the first half. He's got 9 tonight.
That's just a great play because notice the feel that he has too. Oklahoma, again, will play one-on-one in the post. The dig came and he went the opposite direction.
Nice
dig, then he goes back over his left shoulder. That's really, really good basketball, great feel, big-time play.
Hill trying to find Gibson in the corner. He found Kevin O'Banner instead. Turnover number 9 for the Sooners. Arms exploding, leaving it for Bryson Williams, and 2 more for the 6th-year senior from Fresno. Mark Adams says he is so consistent in games because he's so consistent in practice. He says it feels like that's a foreign concept for today's player. Bryson Williams approaches the game like a pro.
And like I said before, there's only a handful of guys in the league that could match up with him on anywhere on the floor. One of those is Jalen Hill. But if you're forced in a help situation, right, and then he's on the weak side, there's about not much you can do to stop him.
Kevin McCullough back in, his first action in 10 days, coming off his latest ankle sprain. Nadolny I'm trying to feed the back door. Orange recovers. And people label me as a defensive guy, and I get that. Defense keeps you in games. Offense can help you knock the other team out. That's where we're trying to get to.
Well, and that's the combination that they've presented here the first 2+ minutes of the second half. And he knows, especially the deeper we get in the NCAA tournament, all teams defend, but you got to have shot makers. How many times over the years in the NCAA tournament has a couple of guys carried teams on their back? And you got to score at some point.
Shagwell going behind the back, could not convert. And Adonis Arms rips it away. Just thought it was funny. Mark Adams, longtime defensive coordinator under Chris Beard, talking about offense in that way. Gibson, open look. Missed it. Umoja Gibson, coming off the 30-point outing 2 weeks ago against Texas Tech, has just 5, and he's 1 of 5 from deep.
Yeah, about as good a look as Gibson will get here tonight. Broken floor and transition off the turnover. But you can hand it to when you're struggling and say, hey, we need you to go make a play.
Yes.
Either you go score or you get something easy for someone else. Oklahoma doesn't necessarily have that. Goldwire, very solid, good point guard. But he's more of a table setter than he is a scorer.
He's on the best scoring stretch of his career coming in, averaging 14 the last 7. Warren steps in front, and he throws it down. Easy 2 for number 2 on 2:22:22.
The guy at Hampton was really good offensively, and he has come here and bought into this end of the floor just like the rest of his teammates.
10 to shoot, Goldwire. Groves trying to find a cutting Hill, it's intercepted. Turnover number 12 for Oklahoma. Warren the fumble, regained it. Warren the drive, and the floater. Back-to-back baskets for Davion Warren. Originally committed to Memphis in the offseason after he decided to transfer from Hampton, but decided to come to Lubbock instead. Under 10 to shoot. Goldwire guarded by McCullough. Johnson, a 3. Marvin Johnson in his first action since the Big 12 SEC Challenge against Auburn, January 29th.
They needed that. They needed something to help them take that lid off the basket. Obviously, Tech has come out here the second half and completely controlled both ends of the floor.
First points of the half for OU. Wilson falling away. Hill, the denial. Goldwire in the paint. Tanner Groves ripped out of his hands. Marcus Santos Silva comes up with it. And Warren
plays harder than Tech, but their length. They are long at all 5 spots. And I think it's just really hard to get used to it. And Oklahoma has had trouble with that tonight. As good as they move it, they haven't been able to get good looks.
Warren stays hot out of the timeout. He nails the jumper, now in double figures with 11. Tying Bryson Williams for a game high.
If you ever, you open a door and it's windy, Lubbock people live
yes.
and it just shuts really fast. You think it's open, and then it shuts quickly.
Right in your face.
That's Texas Tech's defense.
Here comes again. Ball knocked out of the...
Major temperature shifts.
Yes. It's like 80 degrees in Fort Worth yesterday.
Tanner Groves tried to take it off the bounce early in this half. That's just not going to work. But that's Tech. That's what they do. They make you do crazy things.
You see McCullough coming out again, returning to action after missing the last 2. with a sprained ankle. The left ankle this time. The right ankle bothered him earlier in the season, and he's receiving medical attention on the bench.
And a little zone look right here from Porter Moser.
Under 10.
And he laughed and he says, I hope Coach Majerus won't be disappointed in me for playing a little zone tonight.
And Bryson Williams knocks it down on the out-of-bounds play. Porter Moser, an assistant under the late Rick Majerus at St. Louis about a decade and a half ago. One of Moser's mentors.
And you don't have a conversation about basketball with Coach Moser without him bringing up the late great Rick Majerus.
Nice look inside. Jalen Hill with the throw down. Oklahoma has nothing working offensively. They could use more of that. Just 5 points here in the second half.
But I tell you what, when I watch teams play, you can tell, even if they're not having success, if they're trying to do the right things. Oklahoma's trying to do the right things. It's just very difficult against Tech. And again, you need a guy or two that you can just hand it to and go make a play against these guys.
Jalen Hill walled off by Warren. Trying to pass out of the double. Shagwell the skip. Nice closeout by Bryson Williams. Jacob Groves puts it in. So back-to-back baskets for Oklahoma.
A nice find by the freshman Bijan Cortez out of Kingfisher, Oklahoma. That really good flash from Jacob Groves. You can see his intellect away from the ball right there. And that's a strong finish. Good sign.
Oklahoma's made their last 3 shots from the field all of a sudden. 10 to shoot. Here's Shannon. Arms, catch and shoot. Offensive rebound. O'Banner, and he's fouled. To the rim. Low and leveraged. Spacing is offense. Moser jotted them down in a notebook. He thought that's a great way to teach players these bite-sized phrases. When he became a head coach at Loyola, taking it to OU, and everyone in the program can see it.
You know what was interesting is he told me early in the year that he could tell the players were like, we're supposed to know this by when. But
pop quiz coming, right?
But it's overtime. He said literally over time it'll become part of who we are and it won't seem that daunting.
And Moser drills these phrases throughout practice, becomes second nature. And you noted this earlier at shoot-around. Porter Moser is just a great teacher, period. Forget basketball, he communicates so well.
Yeah, I think so. And I see Oklahoma a lot, obviously with proximity of where I am, and call a lot of their early season games. And the thing that jumped out to me was he teaches both ends of the floor. He's got great intensity defensively. They're help-oriented. Look at Warren.
Davion Warren is on a heater tonight. The triple goes down. He's got 14.
Davion, let me finish my thought before you keep heating it up, man.
And Texas Tech comes up with the turnover. Warren passing it up. Arms from the corner. Got it.
Important, we've alluded to this tonight, but Tech doesn't shoot it great in terms of the three-point shot, but they're 4th in the league in field goal percentage. They take good shots. They're not going to settle on the 3 or take bad threes, right? Those are going to come at different times. You don't have to make threes to be a good basketball team.
But does Texas Tech have to make threes consistently in March to win 6 in a row?
You have to make enough to keep the other teams honest. But they guard and rebound like they're capable and dominate the paint, take care of the ball. Absolutely, this obviously is a second weekend team, maybe further.
Right. Gibson to the cup. Williams there defensively for Texas Tech. Red Raiders are shooting 57% from the floor tonight. Just 4 of 14 from 3. Bryson Williams. Swing it around. 7 to shoot. Williams wants it on the opposite block. Out to Shannon, catch and fire. And it bounces in. It's a 3. for Shannon. And again, if Texas Tech can get TJ Shannon back to his December form, pre-back injury, look out.
That's another thing that's been amazing about them. Winning without Shannon, without McCullough as of late.
Goldwire a time or two. Hey, you're still their all-time leader in terms of three-point percentage. You can claim it.
Well, they raised, only shot 4 times.
Yeah. When you go 3 of 4.
Exactly.
Dead to shoot, McCullough. Santos Silva on the drive. The scoop. Off the...
You know, really the second half against Oklahoma, Mark Adams, and he said maybe a stretch during Gonzaga. Only 2 periods all season.
No, he wasn't. Yeah, it's funny because Mark Adams, he told us, I'm sorry, I feel like I'm in a negative mood today, talking about his team's flaws. You got to shoot it better. Again, this is a team that has won 6 of 7, 3 in a row. They swept Baylor. They just swept Texas and Chris Beard. A win over Kansas as well. Signature wins up and down the schedule. Mark Adams isn't resting on any laurels. Gibson fires. In and out. It's been a tough night on the road again for Umoja Gibson. On the break, Santos Silva, the elevation and the hammer. Big fella running the floor. Yes, flex on him. Goldwire, floater off target. Oh, Santos Silva wants it again. Got it against Tanner Groves. The turnaround and the lefty hook. Marcus Santos Silva, 24 years old. And a timeout.
Porter Moser knows that. He knew it was a tall task coming in. And he making no excuses. Without Harkless, probably your best two-way player, meaning how he affects both ends of the floor. You know, you lose your best overall athlete. Oklahoma, not athletic, although they will get that way over the next couple of years.
Malik Wilson rising up. Wow! The junior from Rayville, Louisiana. Yes, adding to the highlight reel. Tanner Groves, no. It's a 17-0 run for Texas Tech. Nadolny the feed, 2 more for Marcus Santos Silva. 19 in a row for the Red Raiders. They're shooting 62% in the game.
I mean, just getting everything that they want. That's their 10th assist of the second half.
Oklahoma almost threw it away again. 18 turnovers tonight for OU. Jacob Groves, corner 3. There's a lid on the basket now. OU has missed 6 in a row from the field.
I know the game has gotten away, but one of the things Tech has done is when they've gotten the stops, they've really pushed it. And their spacing has been terrific in transition.
Chibuzo Agbo in and out. Agbo in for the first time tonight, the sophomore from San Diego. Cortez, a swish. So the drought ends for Oklahoma, ending a 19-0 run, lasting better than 6 minutes. Texas Tech is doing to Oklahoma in this second half what Oklahoma did to them 2 weeks ago in Norman.
Yeah, Oklahoma shot 70% in the second half against this Red Raider team. Hard to really fathom with the way that they have played defensively here tonight.
Offensive rebound, KJ Allen. Deflected by Cortez, and he chases it down. Nolan looking for an outlet. Instead, it is Allen. Look out! That was nasty!
Continues to pile towards the favor of the Red Raiders. Allen right there, the flush.
And with 15,000 on hand yet again here in Lubbock, as electric as you would want. Jalen Hill puts it in. This place really has become one of the best home court advantages in college basketball.
And I know, obviously, as well they have played, you know, wins gets people excited, but the product goes good. How they go about it.
This crowd, Brendan, gets up night after night. The student section always engaged. On top of that, it's a knowledgeable crowd.
Yeah, and obviously Chris Beard helped establish that. As you said, with more and more into it, after defensive stops, they understood that that's what the basis of the program was built on and how decimating it was for the opponent. That's exactly what it feels like here. I mean, this crowd, when they turn Oklahoma over or their opponents here, or they get a stop or make it difficult or force a under duress shot at the end of the shot clock, they really appreciate that. And that's kind of where the connection comes from. And the crowd plays into that, giving the team energy, right? That's how you win. Mark Adams can say, I would need more offense all he wants.
Yes.
But that defensive side of it is their bread and butter.
Yeah, that's on lock, as we know, at Texas Tech. Adams says, hey, we have to improve our offense if we're going to reach our ceiling. C.J. Nolan had 5 quick points for Oklahoma coming out of the timeout. The freshman from Waxahachie, Texas. Late in the shot clock, Shannon short, and a shot clock game. He says his players look at him with odd looks during practice. What's this new play? And Adams says, I got this idea. Let's put it in. Let's see if it works tomorrow night. They've had to change on the fly. Injuries to McCullough and T.J. Shannon, COVID issues earlier in the season.
Yeah, no question. I mean, you look at the roster coming in, even with the good pieces that they added, even Bryson Williams, but I thought, you know, healthy McCullough and Shannon, those are your guys, right? Offensive that you can center everything around. And with their injuries, they've had to adapt, and it's amazing. I mean, it really is the success they've had in juggling, not without depth or pieces, without stars. Yeah. They're offensive stars.
And they were winning games without them. Cortez, lob too tall for Hill.
Earlier, got a chance to see them a lot. Obviously, from an athleticism point, that's got to improve. It will. But Porter Moser can coach. And just like players, I think you have to go through this league one time, not to figure out if you can do it, but just go through it. I mean, it is hard because there's no breathers. And the defenses are excellent. But this program is on the up and up. He's
person with people who are going to play for me, with families who are going to trust their son with me. And he only had 3 scholarship returners from a year ago.
And all nice pieces, but not one a bona fide score at this level.
A Cole Maywin from long range. Arms pulls it down with 1:20 to go. Oklahoma's going to fall to 500, but still on the bubble. By no means is this a bad loss, even with the margin that you see on the screen. Oklahoma will still have opportunities as Warren curls it in. 16 points tonight for Davion Warren. OU will have their chances to move off the bubble and into the field over the next 2 weeks.
After that, winnable, or more than winnable, those two, and then at K-State. So he'll get them regrouped and get ready for Saturday first and foremost.
Texas Tech, meanwhile, will have the rematch against TCU on Saturday in Fort Worth. Three-pointer Austin Timpson. Temperman, the sophomore from the Woodlands, Texas, off the mark. Crowd would have erupted for that. Temperman playing just for the 5th time this season. Has not scored this year. Final 10 seconds. Hill surrounded. That's been a theme tonight. Maywin drains the